but you're not going to be recorded. So just a heads up, that came up not too long ago. We're going to be focusing on the shoulders along with the hips. No problem. Trish, thank you for letting me know. Make sure you get a little bit of rest in there before you get too wild in the world. So today we will start in a seated position. You know, whatever that is for you. If you don't feel like sitting, you can also lay down. But perhaps, you know, if we can all find this tall spine, that would be fun. I'm just beginning to sort of look around the room for a moment as you are sort of settling in here. I set a block underneath my hips. My IT bands are a little bit tight right now. So, you know, just giving yourself space. Something that can be so nice about our practice is that we can really tune into what is, rather than sort of fighting against our bodies. We can invite in the sense of being here for ourselves. Yeah. So whatever that means for you today. So just finding that space, maybe you're shifting the hips side to side. And as you feel ready, perhaps the eyes can begin to flutter close, or at least find a soft gaze on the ground in front of you. And just taking a few moments to sort of brush the thighs with the palms, maybe with a light pressure or something a little bit heavier with the heel of the palm, just finding that sense of touch between the palm and the thigh and the palm. And then just allowing that to organically sort of dissolve and finding a place to rest the palms on the legs. Gently lift the crown of the head, dropping the chin gently into the neck to extend the spine. And just beginning to arrive in this space together. I was just chatting with Olivia a little bit about this sort of space that we find ourselves in these days. You know, we go in and out of these sort of high highs and low lows, and they can feel quite dramatic when we tune into the outside world, which I think is important. Yes, we are here for a reason. We have a purpose in this life to exist amongst others. And when we sort of begin to tune into this emotional roller coaster, we can sort of also acknowledge that there's a cycle that happens. Yeah, cycling of the highs into the lows into the highs, and everywhere in between. And, you know, I kind of like to think of these cycles as spirals because they're never quite the same. And when we look at our active engagement through our yogic practices, we're tuning in with such intention that it actually allows us to address these places we find ourselves in again and again in a new way. Sort of chipping away, leaning in, beginning to dissolve this sort of cyclical nature so that we can find ourselves in the present moment. And this is not necessarily an easy practice, but rather it's quite emotional. Yeah, it's like sort of dissolving of our understanding of how to encounter these moments in some ways. Yeah, I take that for what you like. No need to go too deep there. But just as we're sort of acknowledging the state that we're in right now, whether you are feeling those highs or you're feeling the lows or you're feeling both at the same time, that's also very human. Just beginning to allow the body to experience what is right now. Yeah, how does the space in the body feel? The fingertips, the palms, maybe noticing the space in the throat, the shoulders, the space of the heart. How does this space feel? If you just tuned into the sensation that exists in the space of the body. Maybe letting out a little sigh if that feels okay. The space right underneath the ribs, the diaphragm, into the belly, and the base of the pelvis. Pouring ourselves into the legs and the lower limbs. Just beginning to meet yourself in this space right now. How am I experiencing this moment? Just allowing this moment to be new, inviting in a sense of curiosity, even when there's tenderness, especially when there's tenderness. Can we greet our own tenderness with sweet compassion? Noticing the quality of the breath, perhaps inviting the breath to slowly deepen, perhaps noticing not only the front of the rib cage expanding, but the front of the belly expanding with the breath as well, and softening the back of the heart, the backs of the ribs, the low spine expanding, the sides of the body expanding beneath the arms. How am I experiencing this moment? I'm going to offer our guru mantra. If you would like to join me, you're welcome to do so. You can leave the hands where they are, perhaps join them at heart center. Just drawing your mind into the space of the heart, drawing your mind to that source of divinity that lies within you, that guides us and allows us to move forward with grace. Om Ajnanatimarandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Releasing the palms, and releasing the breath, exhaling wherever you are. Go ahead and begin to take a deep breath in through the nose. And let it out through the mouth. I'll do that 2 more times. Really big, big breath, letting the breath move the body. Exhale with a sigh. Maybe one more just like that, or a little bigger. Feeling the lips this time, inhaling, filling the low belly. Mid belly expands, upper chest, crown of the head expands. Exhale through the nostrils, softening from the crown of the head, through the chest, mid belly, low belly draws towards the spine. Inhale, filling the body, allowing the breath to rise up through the spine. And then exhaling, noticing as the bones soften closer to the midline. Continuing this breath at your own pace, seeing if you can really expand the sort of cyclical nature of the breath. Yeah, everything exists in cycle. This microcosm exists in the body, it goes outside of us. Perhaps we can expand this space and draw our minds within, deepening the breath, letting it go. Maybe engaging in that Ujjayi pranayama with the constriction in the back of the throat. Inviting the mind to come to focus. And if you have anything underneath your seat, perhaps removing that as we move into the next part of our practice. Eyes can stay soft or closed. As you take your next breath in, leaning the chest gently forward, exhaling, drawing the chest towards the right and circling towards the back. Inhaling towards the left and towards the front. Inhaling to find one side of the circle, exhaling to find the next. And finding this in as large or as subtle of a sort of generating circle as you'd like. I'm just beginning to notice how the spiral begins at the base of the spine in the earth. And it can begin to softly make its way up through the spine. So maybe softening through the neck, allowing the head to just drift along, bringing the breath in nice and deep. Maybe you're finding some movement in the shoulders as well. Letting out any sound. Maybe you let a breath out of the mouth if that feels of service to you in this moment. Maybe you get even larger. Maybe you begin to soften the circles closer to your midline. You can find sort of an organic transition to the other side as you feel ready. No need for any sharp edges today. Yeah, we're sort of bringing in softness. This week has been a little bit uh, rigid and a little bit chaotic. So inviting in that breath and the fluidity to sort of allow our nervous system to come back to us. Come back to right here. Noticing any popping, cracking, just the air sort of escaping the joints. And eventually just allowing those circles to bring you to a nice tall spine. And if the eyes are closed, gently flutter them open. You can extend the fingertips out to the side and notice, we're gonna play a bit with the shoulders today. So noticing if your fingertips are touching the ground, notice what that's doing to your shoulders right now. From here, just flipping the palms up towards the sky and notice as that draws the shoulder blades down the back of the body and sort of opens up the inner line of the nerves through the arms. As you inhale, finding a nice extension as you scoop the palms up towards the sky, and fingertips will eventually touch, allowing the shoulder blades to fall down the back of the body. Yeah, letting all of the breath out here as you take another inhale, flipping the palms, leaving the shoulders where they are, and then exhale to press the palms down. So leaving the shoulders nice and engaged on the ribs. Yeah, you'll get into the forearms here a little bit perhaps. Keeping the shoulders down, flipping the palms, inhale, arms sweep high. And exhale, flipping the palms, leaving the shoulders nice and they're just reaching down the back of the spine. Yeah, finding this a few more times, you might even notice if you'd like to play with this as you flip the palms to face down. If you reach far enough with the thumbs, the shoulders will come up. So try to keep the shoulders down as you reach down towards the earth. A couple more times. Maybe as the eyes begin to wake back up, you see the room, you see the fingertips, inviting that deep breath in and deep breath out. Let's inhale all together as we reach up nice and high, shoulder blades reaching down the spine. As you exhale, left palm will come down to the mat. You use the left palm as you press into the mat, shoulders reach down, right hip reaches into the earth. You can inhale to roll the heart open towards the sky. Maybe the thumb begins to reach towards the back, opening up that nice nerve line of the right arm. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, carve forward this time, reaching with the pinky side of that right arm, reaching across the body. And we'll find a few rhythms like this. So inhaling to open. We've done this before, but perhaps just drawing your attention a little bit more into where the fingers are reaching, how you're engaging with the lines of the arm. So as you exhale to roll forward, really allowing that pinky side of the arm to really reach away. Notice how that shifts the sensation. And then as you reach with that thumb line of the arm back, really opening up that nerve line. Yeah, this may speak to you, maybe not. Take what you'd like. Finding a few more these nice openings, really allowing the heart to be soft, noticing what's happening in that left shoulder, allowing it to plug back into the ribs. And then on your next exhale, go ahead and allow that right palm to come onto the left knee. We'll inhale as we reach the left arm back and around, all the way up towards that right knee, crossing the body, and then using both palms, just squaring the shoulders here. Another thing we've done again, cycles. Yeah, letting it be new. So as you square the shoulders, maybe giving the hips a little bit of a shift, and then bending both elbows. Backs of the palms may touch. Maybe you find a full eagle bind with the wrists or the palms. From here, go ahead and reach the elbows towards the front of the body. So they're reaching away from you, away from the heart, and then draw the elbows in towards one another and the shoulders down the back of the body. Notice a little bit more space opening up in the shoulder blades, perhaps a little bit more of a sensation. Taking a nice deep breath in here. And exhaling, shoulders away from the ears, really pulling the elbows in towards one another. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhaling. Inhale. And exhale, draw the elbows towards the navel, release the palms and release the palms onto the knees. Can roll up through the spine, shoulders come up to the ears and fall down the back of the body. And just close the eyes for a moment if that feels okay. Noticing the sensations of the arms, the nerves are waking up, the chest is beginning to open, and the heart opens through the back of the body as well. You can bring the palms or fingertips next to the body once again, and finding that nice shoulder engagement. So shoulders are reaching down, flipping the palms, and inhaling the arms to reach up. So even here, you're reaching with the pinky side of the fingers. Flip the palms at the top. As you exhale, press down and out, allowing the shoulders to continue to reach down the back of the body. Inhale, arms sweep high. Exhale, pressing out, reaching away. 2 more times. Inhale, arms sweep high. Letting the eyes feel active if that feels good to you. Inhale, arms sweep high. This time, exhaling, right palm down into the earth. Press into that right palm to really allow the shoulders to reach into the ribs. Left hip reaches down. And then inhale to open up the heart towards the sky, reaching with that thumb side of the arm. Nice sensation in that left arm. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, carve forward, pinky side of that left arm reaches across the body, gentle twist. Inhale to open, rolling the lungs, opening the front of the heart. Exhale to close the front of the body, opening up the back of the heart. Let's do that 2 more times, or whatever pace you're moving at. Just listening, checking in with that right shoulder every so often. Next time you take a nice big breath in, opening up the front of the body, and exhale that left palm all the way to the right knee. You can inhale the right arm behind you, opening up, maybe seeing something above you. And as you exhale, right palm will find the left knee, squaring the shoulders, just taking that moment to really allow the body to find some sort of semblance of a square. Yeah, the shoulders are square, the hips are square, even inside of this cross. And as you find yourself ready, just slightly bending at the elbows, drawing the backs of the palms together, finding that full eagle bind. And from here, shoulders drop down, elbows reach away from the heart, and the elbows press into one another. Yeah, so if you notice, when you press the elbows into one another, the backs of the shoulder blades open up even more. Taking 3 breaths here. Softening in the belly, softening in the heart space. Letting the shoulders open up. Take 1 more big breath in. Then exhale, drawing the elbows towards the navel, releasing any bind, and palms come back to the knees, roll up through the spine, shoulders up and down towards the back. And just noticing for a moment, what has shifted in my spine, in my breath, in my mind, in my pelvis. Yeah, just bringing the mind back into the body. And as you feel ready, just bringing the palms into the earth and rolling over the knees. We'll find ourselves in a tabletop as we are ready. And just right away, we'll actually go ahead and tuck the toes. We don't want to forget our toe opening pose. We could use more grounding now than ever. So just pressing into the palms, tucking all 10 toes behind you, or however many toes you may have. Press, press, press. You could even lift up the knees for a moment to sort of get that nice traction. And then walk the palms back towards the knees. From here, you can keep the palms down if that feels good, might be quite intense. Maybe you walk the palms onto the body. Yeah, many of you have already done this with me before. So finding your variation that you love so much. I really enjoy putting the heels of the palms into the hip crease, locking the elbows and getting a nice low spine release. Maybe it's just gently allowing this to be what it is today. Maybe hanging on to the heels just for a little bit of a heart opener. Maybe you walk the knees a little bit farther forward. Yeah, I'm just finding this space, not always the most comfortable space to be in, but knowing that it will change. We'll just take about 3 more breaths here. Seeing if you can really expand the breath. Allow the breath to go all the way into the base of the pelvis, all the way up to the crown of the head, all the way into the base of the feet, Every corner of the body, every cell in the body has the capacity to breathe. That's a fun one to explore. Yeah, we'll take one more big breath together. Deep, deep inhale. And exhale, bringing the palms back down onto the earth, lifting up the toes, and rather than tapping them out, you can if you'd like, but perhaps just untucking the toes and sitting back on the heels and finding a little shift side to side. Yeah, just letting that sensation sort of make its way back up through the feet. Yeah, sometimes we go so quickly into sort of getting out of the sensation that we forget to integrate a little bit. Yeah, so finding ourselves eventually in a sort of more codified hero's pose. So keeping the heels in line with the knees, in line with the hips, and finding a nice tall spine here just for a moment. You can clasp the palms together and begin to find a little bit of a wrist roll. Yeah, so finding yourself going, it's like a little bit of a figure 8, I believe. And taking some deep, deep breaths and then trying to reverse that figure 8. So it's good to go in both directions. And then releasing the palms and finding our little bird flop here. I love this for waking up the body and also just getting the shoulders, wrists, and elbows a little bit more engaged. Yeah, shaking out the palms, coming back onto the palms and finding yourself back in your tabletop. We're just gonna find a little bit of shoulder work before we move forward. So press into the palms here. My sweater. So finding yourself in your tabletop, really pressing into the palms, and notice as you press into the palms that the heart reaches between the shoulder blades. From this space, gently reach the heart forward between the shoulders. So the heart is reaching up and forward. And from here as well, pressing into the tops of the feet to gently engage the low belly. Yeah, so strong. From here, we're just gonna find a few shoulder rolls, which will help us to sort of engage the shoulders even more. So as you take a breath out, soften the heart between the shoulder blades. Shoulder blades will come together. As you breathe in, reaching the heart forward, press into the palms, heart reaches high. And then finding your exhale again, shoulders can come towards the ears and then reach down the back of the body. So you're finding a shoulder roll. We'll find about 5 in this direction, seeing if you can engage with the breath. I like to inhale as I sort of open up the shoulder blades and then exhale as I bring the shoulder blades together. Yeah, you might notice a little fatigue already coming in, and that's okay too. We're building a little bit of heat, a little bit of strength, and then reversing that circling so that you're doing a forward shoulder roll now. Yes. So when we give ourselves a little bit of weight into the palms, this just provides us with a little bit of resistance as we build some heat. Finding your nice neutral tabletop spine. If your shoulders are feeling really exhausted, just taking a moment and then coming right back. Yeah, the body recovers very quickly. We'll just do a few of our sort of circular elbow push-ups, which some of you have done with me before. I will demonstrate. If you already know what you're doing, just go for it. We'll take a nice bend with the elbows out towards the side. We're staying in our tabletop. So bending the elbows out to the side and then drawing them towards the ribs. Press into the palms to reach the elbow, the eye of the elbow forward. So we're engaging the lats to kind of build ourselves up for our chaturanga later. So you can take a nice bend in the elbows, reaching them out towards the long edge of the mat, draw them towards the ribs, and then press the eye of the elbow forward. Taking 5 to 10 of these, depending on where you're at, just seeing how it feels. Yeah, you can pause in a couple of them and just noticing that transition, drawing the elbow towards the body and then pressing the elbow forward. Yeah, finding a few. Yeah, and as you've had enough of that, just pressing the palms back into the earth, walking them back towards the knees, finding our hero's pose once again, and making our way through any of those rotations that felt good. Yeah, just releasing that effort. You can draw the palms behind the pelvis, clasping the fingers, reaching them down into the earth, slight heart opener. This will be nice for the fronts of the shoulders, which might be a little bit sore. Taking 1 or 2 more breaths in whatever exploration serves you. And then as you feel ready, just bringing the palms back down into the earth, tucking the toes, press into the palms to lift up the knees, hips lift up, first down dog of today's practice. Shifting the hips side to side, heels walking side to side. I always like the imagery of sort of pressing my feet into something really soft I love the mud, so I don't mind imagining myself clawing through the mud. But if you like something a little bit less muddy, you could imagine yourself pawing through some really soft, cushy pillows or blankets, the down comforter. Just allowing for a little bit of gooiness to come in, and then finding our stillness, just checking in with our down dog today. Drawing the chin towards the throat gently as you lift the hips even higher, drawing the low ribs to knit together, expanding through the base of the pelvis. Shoulder blades reach down the ribs, taking a nice deep breath in and letting that go. Deep breath in and letting that go. You can step the left foot about a foot forward just so that the heel can reach the earth. And then inhale the right leg, just sweep high, bend the knee, open up the pelvis, stack the hips, finding just a little bit of movement here. Yeah, just our little beginning hip opener for today. Letting out any breath, any sighs. So noticing you could even get into the belly if you open up that right knee nice and wide. 2 or 3 more breaths. And remembering Friday, we do what we want, which means we listen to our bodies. Yeah, so pausing anywhere that you feel needs a little bit of a moment and giving yourself some compassion. On your next breath, extend that leg nice and long as you inhale. Exhale, turning the toes towards the earth, squaring the hips. Take a nice breath in once again, inner heel lift a little higher, and then exhaling to step the right foot next to the left. So the right heel should sort of glue down to the earth. You can inhale the left leg high this time, opening up the hips, stack the pelvis, and do what you gotta do. You might notice this side feels quite different from the other. Maybe it feels quite similar, which is always kind of interesting as well. More often than not, it will feel a little bit different. The right and left hips are quite unique in how they operate, how they carry us through the world. Taking 3 to 5 breaths of carving through space with the bones, of giving the muscles a nice massage from the inside out. Taking 1 more big breath and letting it go. Time as you inhale, extending the leg up nice and high, reach, reach, reach. Exhale, turn the toes towards the earth to square the pelvis. Inhale, inner heel lift higher, keeping the pelvis square. And as you exhale, stepping that left foot down, you can keep this nice short down dog for a moment and just notice as you press into the palms, maybe the lower ribs even reach the thigh bone. You bend the knees. And then taking nice little steps, just beginning to walk yourself forward, eventually finding yourself in your forward fold. Yeah, as you find yourself here, just have a little bit of a moment. I always love our forward fold to kind of have a moment of releasing the spine, releasing the neck, of wagging out the tail, and just allowing everything to be soft. Maybe holding onto opposite elbows for a moment to give a little bit more traction to the spine. Soft belly, inner thighs reach behind you. Perhaps finding stillness as you feel ready. Just letting that go. You can release the elbows, soft bend in the knees as you begin to roll up through the spine. Chin and tail reach together to really open up the back of the body. Knees extend, hips open up, shoulders come up to the ears, and then fall down the back of the body, finding ourselves in our Tadasana. You can lift up the toes, spread them nice and wide, and then plant them deep into the earth. It's like you'd plant a seed. I'm gonna press it into the earth nice and gently. See something in front of you, and then allow the eyes to close for a moment, bringing the mind into the space of the heart. Tuning in, once again, how am I experiencing this moment? Do I have an intention that I've brought with me today? Can I listen a little bit deeper? Let's take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Let it out through the mouth. Inhale through the nose, feel the lips. Exhale through the nose, flutter the eyes open. As you inhale, arms will sweep high, lifting the eyes with the fingertips. Exhale, fold forward, passing through prayer, Uttanasana. Inhale for your halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant the palms, right leg will step back, knee and toes come down. Inhale, arms sweep high, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Exhale, shoulder blades and hips fall towards the earth. As you inhale, gather up through the base of the pelvis, press into the earth. Exhale, softly lower the hips. One more inhale, reaching, maybe eyes lift. As you exhale, palms plant, stepping back, finding your downward facing dog. Inhale to roll the body forward to plank, chin and tail reach together, and then unfurl into our nice long spine. Take a deep breath in, pressing into the palms, allowing that heart to reach up and forward. Take a deep breath in. Exhaling, belly to spine. One more big breath in here. And then exhaling, knees, chest and chin come down to the mat, elbows towards the ribs. Inhaling the heart to reach forward, baby cobra. Exhale, hips back, finding our downward dog. As you inhale, right leg sweeps high. And exhale, this time stepping outside of that right palm, left knee and toes come down. Right palm can come to the inside of the right knee. As you inhale, pressing the right knee forward, opening up the heart for a gentle twist, opening the front of the left hip. Take a deep breath in, pressing into the earth, twisting a little bit more. And as you exhale, allowing the hips to softly lower towards the earth. Let's take one more big breath here. And as you exhale, right palm comes back down to the earth, tuck the back toes. Inhale, lifting the left knee, heart reaches forward. As you exhale, stepping outside of the left palm, finding our early Malasana. Y'all know I love an early Malasana. So just finding this space for you. Maybe the hips are high, maybe they're low, maybe you're having a little bit of a dance in between. I always like to lift one hip and then the other, just spending a couple of breaths here. Maybe you're ready to find stillness. That's also a beautiful choice. Yeah, listening to your intuition with your body. And I'm just asking, body, what do you want? What do you need? And taking one more big breath wherever you're at. And exhale, palms to the ground, press into the earth, heel toe, the feet together, Uttanasana. Inhale, arms sweep high, eyes lift all the way. And exhale, palms back to the space of the heart. As you inhale, arms will sweep high, eyes lift once again. Exhale, folding forward, Uttanasana. Inhale for your halfway lift. And exhale, left leg steps back this time, knee and toes come on down. Inhale, arms sweep high, lifting Anjaneyasana. And exhale, allowing the hips to slowly shift down and forward. On your inhale, gathering the base of the pelvis, so engaging the base of the body. And exhaling to softly lower down, softening in the shoulders. One more big breath in, reaching the eyes, lift the fingertips. Exhale, palms down, stepping back, finding your down dog. Chin and tail roll together as you inhale to come forward to plank. Exhale as you unfurl, finding that beautiful, strong shape. You know, we love plank. Press into the palms, heart reaches up and forward. Yeah, opening the collarbones. Kneecaps are lifted. Front of the hips are nice and open. Taking two more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. See if you can elongate in the back of the neck. One more big breath in. This time as you exhale, knees, chest, and chin, or if you're ready, chaturanga, elbows towards the ribs regardless. Inhale, heart reaches forward, baby cobra, cobra, or up dog. Exhaling, hips back, downward dog. Inhaling the left leg to sweep high, keeping the hips square. And as you exhale, sitting outside of that left palm. Right knee and toes will come down, left palm to left knee. Inhale, pressing into that left knee, opening up the heart towards the sky, finding that nice gentle twist. Exhaling the hips to soften. Notice as you inhale, you're really pressing that left knee towards the top left corner of the mat. And as you exhale, it's really softening in the front of that right hip. Take 2 more breaths, pressing into the earth. Exhale to softly release. 1 more big breath in. And exhale, left palm will come down to the mat. Tuck the right toes. Inhale, right knee lifts, heart lifts forward. And exhale, stepping forward, finding our forward or our asana. Once again, shifting the hips side to side. Maybe this time you're ready to go right into your sort of more stationary malasana. Yeah, our asanas are never quite stationary because we're always breathing and the breath moves the body. But as you find this more sort of defined shape, seeing if you can press into the back of the body. Yeah, press into the outer arches of the feet to open up the space in front of you. Taking 2 breaths. Soften the shoulders. Soften the heart. Bringing the palms back down to the earth. Press into the earth and heel toe the feet back together. As you inhale, arms will sweep high once again. Then exhale, palms to the heart. Taking a nice deep breath in here. Exhaling. Inhale, arms will sweep high. And exhale, folding forward. Inner thighs reach behind you. You can inhale for a halfway lift. This time as you exhale, pause here. You can shift the weight into the toes as you take a deep breath in. Exhale, weight shifts into the heels, lift the toes. Begin to bend the knees nice and deep. And as you find your next breath in, we'll make our way into our chair pose. So many ways to get into this posture, so many ways to express this posture, but see if you can begin to expand the space of the low spine and the space of the low belly. Yeah, so it's like they're equal distance, shooting down towards the earth, wrapping the shoulders down and towards the ribs. It's like you're offering with something above you. So it's that pinky side edge of the fingers, of the palms, of the arms, wrapping the shoulder blades down. Let's take 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale, sitting the hips a little deeper. 1 more breath in. And exhaling, palms to the earth. We'll take a deep breath in for a halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, stepping, hopping, or floating to the back of the mat, making your way through a vinyasa of your choice, if you'd like, or just hanging out in a down dog. Taking 3 to 5 breaths wherever you're at. And we'll make our way through a nice, gentle standing series. Beautiful. From our down dog, let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Let it out through the mouth. In through the nose, feel the lips. Out through the nose. Inhale, right leg sweeps high. As you exhale, gently stepping the right foot outside of the right palm. You can drop that left heel towards the earth. And from here, begin to engage that right glute. As you engage the right glute, the right shoulder glues to the right knee. And you begin to open up the body. So we're finding our extended side angle. We've done this before. Really pressing that right hip underneath the body to open up through the front of the pelvis. Eventually extending that left arm high. Maybe the right arm reaches overhead. Just taking a few breaths here, seeing if we can really sort of engage that beautiful space of this right hip under the body so that the right knee can reach towards the top of the mat. Press into the outer edge of that left foot. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. On your next inhale, press into the feet. Arms begin to sweep up, finding our warrior 2. Yeah, if the right leg is burning, give it a moment, come right back down. Press into that left hip bone so that you can reach that left hip down towards the earth, squaring the pelvis. Shoulders reach down, fingertips reach away. Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, belly reaches for the space of the heart. 1 more big breath here. And letting that go. Flip that right palm as you inhale, reversing your warrior. Exhale, bending deeper into that right knee, shoulder blades reach down the spine. One more breath in here. And as you exhale, soften the hips. On your next inhale, reaching back out and up, finding your warrior two. Once again, if your right leg needs a break, give it one, but go right back down. Attach the left wrist to the left ankle. We'll take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, begin turning into the left toe, spinning that left arm down, eventually making our way into our high lunge. Yeah, and as you notice, you could even go back to your warrior two. As you find this coordination, really the left side of the body is closing towards the right. Yeah, so you're wrapping the body towards the center line. Press into the left toes to lift that left heel. And finding this beautiful high lunge, opening the left hip. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, soft shoulders, maybe bending deeper into that right knee. Deep breath in. And exhale, drawing that left side of the body forward. One more big breath in here. And as you exhale, drawing the palms towards the heart. Inhale to lift the heart a little higher. And as you exhale, beginning to fold forward in the hips. So we're making our way into a warrior three. So from here, perhaps you're ready to launch into that. Maybe you take a couple little hops forward and then press into the right foot to lift the body, lifting that left leg, finding your warrior three. Noticing if this left hip is lifting, see if you can coax that left hip towards the earth. So you're closing the pelvis, squaring off the hips, left toes are pointing down, just 3 breaths. Exhale, press into that left foot, press into the right foot. Inner thighs are reaching towards one another. One more big breath in. And as you exhale, palms find the earth. Inhale, heel lifts a little bit higher. And as you exhale, stepping to the middle of the mat, finding our pyramid pose. You find a little shift front and back for a moment, just giving that right hip a little bit of a break. And then finding this nice space where you reach forward with the heart, taking a deep breath in, and then exhaling to soften the spine forward. Our tendency is to open up the hips and shift into that left foot. See if you can guide the hips forward into this nice square shape. That left hip is rolling forward, right hip is pulling back. Just 2 or 3 more breaths here. Letting out any sighs. Take one more big breath together, deep, deep breath. And exhaling. You can begin to walk the palms towards the right. So we're going to cross over this right foot. You might notice as you do this that the inner thighs will sort of collapse towards one another. And you can turn all 10 toes towards the right long edge of the mat. Keep walking your palms forward as far as you can. We're in this really funky cross-legged position. You press into the balls of the feet, begin to bend the knees, and gently sit the hips down. So we're finding our way to our cow face pose. From here, your right leg is on top and your left leg is underneath. So we've done this one other time, I believe, but finding our cow face pose is kind of funny. My IT bands are really tight, so this is how I find this pose. Is I take the same hand that's the leg on top, so my right leg is on top, I take my right hand, I reach under my right leg and I grab onto my left knee. I use my right elbow to sort of press that right knee a little bit closer over the left knee. Yeah, and then you can use your fingertips to sort of adjust your hips. If this is where you'd like to be, enjoy it, stay there, let the hips be soft. If you are super flexy and you want to keep going, you're welcome to begin to lean the body forward, nice long spine, even clasping the chin over that right knee. We'll just find a few breaths here as we open up these beautiful, juicy hips. Taking a few breaths, maybe allowing the eyes to come to close. Noticing how things have shifted already. Seeing if you can soften in the heart. Yeah, a lot of these practices, we go in between effort and ease, effort and relaxation, effort and disengagement, however you want to call it. But in these moments where we call for softness, really allowing the body to go there, yeah? Like we know we can engage again. So perhaps in this moment, we can simply be still. Let's take 2 more breaths together. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. 1 more breath in. And exhale, making your way back up to seated if you're not already there. You can bring the palms towards the left and plant them into the earth. We'll come out similar to the way that we came. We'll tuck the left toes behind you and find your way towards a lunge. You can bring that left foot a little bit closer. And this is not necessary or required, but if you'd like to take a couple of handstand hops because our arms are quite warm, you're welcome to do so. I'll guide you through that. So planting the palms right underneath the shoulders. We're in this sort of shortened, very short lunge or even Parsvottanasana. So shifting the hips and the weight forward, shoulders are over the wrists. You can begin to lift that left inner heel high, keeping the shoulders nice and engaged, press into the earth and begin to lift up with that left foot to see if you can kick yourself up. Yeah, if you don't want to do this, you're welcome to make your way through a flow. You're welcome to hang out in child's pose just for a few moments, taking about 5 hops if this is something that you'd like to practice. Just seeing what happens if you keep the hips square. Inner heel is leading you up. Yeah, and once you've had enough of that, making your way back into your down dog and moving through a flow. We'll meet in our down dog for 3 to 5 breaths, wherever you are at, to go through our final side. Connecting with your breath. Beautiful. Listening to the body. Beautiful choices. Make your way back into the down dog. Let's see. Well, okay, so we'll go into the left side and we'll just flow right through it. Yeah, so listening to your body, our nice long series. I like to do these. It gives us an opportunity to really engage in one practice. Yeah, take a deep breath in through the nose. Let it out through the mouth. Inhale, feel the lift. Out through the nose. Inhale, left leg sweeps high. Exhale, stepping outside of the left palm. Right heel comes down to the earth. Already left hip is reaching underneath the body. Left shoulder, left knee engaged towards one another. You can inhale to lift that right arm high. And as you exhale, soften the hips, but continue to roll that left hip under the body. See how that nice sort of dynamic engagement of pressing into the earth, pressing that left hip forward, allows the left knee to slide forward. Taking 2 more breaths here. Maybe that right arm reaches overhead. Soft hips, inhale. And exhale. On your next inhale, right fingertips reach out and up, reach, fighting your warrior 2. Maybe taking that moment to extend the left knee and coming right back down. Pressing that right hip bone down towards the earth to really square the pelvis. Inhale to reach the fingertips away. Exhale, hips soften. Even here, perhaps noticing the length of the low belly, the length of the low spine can become parallel. Yeah, it's like the front of the body and the back of the body are really dropping towards the earth and up towards the sky. Taking a deep breath in. Exhaling. 1 more big breath in. Exhale, flipping the left palm this time. Inhale to reverse your warrior. Exhale, plug that left shoulder back into the body, soft bend in that left knee. Inhale, tail roots down, heart rolls open. Exhale. Next inhale, coming right back to your warrior 2. Take a deep breath in. You can always give yourself a break, come back down. Attach the right wrist to the right ankle. Inhale, fingertips reach away. As you exhale, spinning into the right toes, right arm sweeps down and forward, coming into our high lunge. And notice that right body, right side body rolls and sort of encloses the midline here, yeah? So fingers even reach up towards one another and just rolling that right hip forward, pressing into the right ball of the foot, Softening the hips down, taking 3 breaths here. Inhale, exhaling, big breath in, exhale. One more big breath in here. Then exhale, palms to the heart. Inhale, heart lifts a little bit higher. And as you exhale, folding yourself forward, we'll make our way into our warrior 3. So stepping yourself forward or launching right into it. Finding that nice square pelvis, right toes reach towards the earth as the inner heel reaches high. You can engage by pressing into that left foot. Palms can stay together, reach forward or back. We'll just take 2 more breaths here. One more breath. And exhaling, palms to the earth. As you inhale, inner heel lifts a little higher. And then exhaling to place it right in the center of the mat. Shifting the hips around as you need. And eventually finding yourself in that nice, stable, square pyramid pose. So that right hip rolls forward, left hip pulls back. Heart lifts as you inhale and softens down as you exhale. Just 3 breaths here. 2 breaths. 1 more breath. Letting that go. You can begin to walk the fingertips over towards the left this time, noticing as the inner thighs sort of collapse towards one another. All 10 toes begin to turn towards the left long edge of the mat. This is actually a really nice stretch for that left outer hip, left outer leg. You can stay there for a second. And then as you're ready, lifting up through the heels, bend the knees, crossing the legs, eventually finding yourself in your cow face pose. So once again, our hips are very unique. One side may feel much easier than the other, and that is beautiful. Yeah, we practice yoga to unite in many different ways. One of them is to unite the sides of our body. Yeah, so you can reach under with the left arm if this variation serves you in any way, to grab the right knee and use that inner elbow, that left inner elbow, sort of scooch the left knee over a little bit farther. Yeah, you'll find your favorite way to get into this. You can bring the fingertips towards your sides, and maybe this is perfect. Yeah, for me, this is as far as my hips will go today. Yeah, things will always shift. Maybe you fold yourself forward. Maybe you just hang out. It's funny, this is one of my best friends, her favorite pose, her favorite asana. And it's one of my least favorite asanas, but I made a vow to myself this 2021 to engage in the asanas that I have labeled as bad and find the good in them. Because there's no such thing as a bad asana. It's just different. Taking about 3 more breaths here. Just noticing any resistance in the body, any challenges that you're confronting inside of your physical expression of this posture, and seeing if you can be a little softer with yourself, yeah? See if you can let the belly soften, let the tongue soften, maybe let the corners of the mouth soften. Soften in the heart, it's kind of nice. Taking 1 more big breath in. And letting that go. Coming up from whatever variation you found yourself in. You can bring the palms over to the right and just tucking the right toes behind you, shifting back into the palms, finding that little sort of pseudo lunge, bringing that right foot a little bit closer. So you're in this lunge meets pyramid pose. If you want to move into 1 more round of handstand hops, you're welcome to join me in that. Bringing the palms just shoulder distance apart and then shifting the weight over the wrist. Yeah, maybe that's enough for today, even just shifting the shoulders over the wrist. And from here, perhaps you begin to lift that right inner heel high and finding a few hops here. Yeah, noticing if you can really keep the hips square. We'll try to work on that more next week, but really finding that sort of engulfing of the midline. Yeah, so it's that beautiful squareness of the hips. Toes are pointing forward and down. Just finding 3 to 4 hops there. And then eventually making your way to your down dog. You can go through one last flow if you'd like, and we'll meet in a child's pose. Thanks, Trish. See you next week. As you find yourself winding down, I usually give this notice at the beginning of class, but I usually run about 5 minutes over. So just being inside of that space, if you need to move right into Shavasana, we're 3 minutes to the hour. You'll find yourself in your child's pose. We'll just do a couple more small things before we Shavasana ourselves to rest. You can bring your palms back towards your knees and just rolling up through the spine. We'll shift the hips to one side, extending the legs out in front of you, and getting your hips to about the center of the mat. Now you can bring the feet onto the mat and just bringing the chest kind of between the knees for a moment. Seeing if you can find the engagement of the low core, the low belly muscles, to keep the spine here, keep the knees here as you eventually release the palms. If the knees move out a little, that's okay. And we're just going to roll down to the back of the body. So taking about 20 seconds, and a nice slow roll down. I love to do this nice and slow because it offers us an opportunity to witness the body working. Yeah, so letting the breath continue, knowing this will end, noticing the shakes, noticing the shifts of the body. And eventually, the back of my heart just got to the earth. You can go at your own pace. You can go slower if you'd like even. And eventually the head meets the earth. Palms can rest on the belly, heel toe the feet to the outside of the mat, and just let the knees fall together for a few breaths. Noticing what has shifted. How am I experiencing this moment? The quality of the breath. And just bringing the heels back in line with the sits bones. You can draw the fingers forward to see if you can graze the backs of the heels with the fingertips. And we'll just do a brief moment in bridge. So as you find this space, see if you can draw the knees towards one another. Imagine you're holding a nice, soft, juicy, ripe mango. Don't want to squeeze it too hard, but you also don't want to drop it. And as you find that nice engagement in the inner thighs, just beginning to press through all 4 corners of the feet, lifting up the hips nice and high. Can maybe scooch the shoulder blades underneath the body, clasping the palms together, finding that nice heart openness. You can press gently into the back of the head to lift the chin away from the chest, lifting the heart towards the top of the mat, taking 3 more breaths here. Press into the feet, opening up the fronts of the hips, opening up the heart, taking 2 more breaths. Nice full breath. 1 more big breath in. And exhale, releasing the fingertips and slowly rolling the spine back down to the earth. You can bring the knees back into the chest. And give yourself a nice squeeze. I shouldn't say back into the chest, we haven't done this yet. It always feels so comforting to hold on to ourselves at the end of that practice. Just rocking side to side, taking a moment to check in with yourself. Checking in with if there's anything that your body is calling for, maybe a few breaths in a twist, maybe another inversion, and just taking the next about 60 seconds or so to move into anything else that your body is asking for. And eventually making your way into your final resting position. You can extend the legs out in front of you. You can extend the arms out to the side and just checking in to see how your body feels in this position. If you feel a need to fold the elbows and place the palms on the body, That can be a really grounding experience. But perhaps you'd like to take up a bunch of space, expand the body. Wherever you choose to rest here, we can just begin to allow the body to fall into the earth. Can allow the bones to begin to softly feel more weight, releasing our need to engage the muscles, and just allowing the breath to softly enter the tissues of the body, allowing the body to be held, allowing all effort to release, allowing the air to rest on the skin. Shavasana. And of course, staying in this space for as long as your body asks for, beginning to bring the mind back from wherever it's taken you, perhaps beginning to deepen the breath, allowing this beautiful pranic breath to enter the body, enter this beautiful space that you've cultivated within this system. And drawing some movement into the fingers, the toes, the palms, soles of the feet, ankles and wrists. Maybe drawing the arms overhead and reaching them away from the toes, reaching the toes away from the fingers. And eventually making your way to one side of the body. Pausing for a moment, seeing if you can allow the bones to fall once again. As you allow the weight to pour into the earth, gently pressing through the palms, making your way up to a seated position. Same shape that we began our practice in, perhaps feels quite different. You can bring the palms towards the heart center. And the eyes can stay soft or closed. Just noticing this space, how it has shifted. And this beautiful cycle, one of many we experience, the cycle of our practice, the beginning and the end leads to a new beginning and another end. Yet this space feels quite different. And the more we tune into the space we cultivate, the more we begin to perhaps engage in this spiral rather than the cycle, allowing for shifting, allowing for conscious practice, and offering yourself a little gratitude for showing up today, for your own self, and for all of the souls that you'll touch throughout your life. This is for them as much as it is for you. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And then a nice sigh out the mouth. We'll inhale to seal the practice with Om. Bowing the chin to the chest, honoring this beautiful divinity that lies within you, and this beautiful history that's brought us to where we are now with all of its sticky goodness, all that is yet to come in front of us, and all that is with us in each and every moment in this present moment. Thank you for a beautiful practice today, yogis. Namaste.